Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome once again to the Brotherhood of Wrestling podcast, episode 8. As you know, I am your host with the most, Kareem Muhammad, aka the Creator. You see the background, you know what it's about today. But before I get into it, let's bring on our usual suspects. All the way from Alaska, now in Oregon. The old man himself, Kukai. Welcome.
Peace, young bleed.
Yes, sir. Going all the way from Alaska to St. Louis, Missouri, home of the Viper, the apex predator, the legend killer Randy Orton. Give it up for We Worship Tony Khan here, Trey Law. Don't expect him to be talking much tonight, okay? All right. Well, he never really talks. So. And this is going to be a double intro because I just want to get this show underway already. All the way from Chicago, Illinois, them Wild Boys, Mello, LaShawn, and the president of the Brotherhood of Wrestling, Chase.
What's going on, Presidente? I am just an acting president.
Acting president. Yes. All righty. We are all here. Let us get into the topic of discussion, which is next week being Extreme Rules. And the card looks solid. Card looks good. Card definitely looks good. I'm going to read it out on my phone over here. Are you all excited for Extreme Rules? Are you all like genuinely interested in it?
I want to say no.
Oh boy.
And I'll explain why later.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, let's get through the mechanics because yeah.
Now, of course, would we love a world championship match on Extreme Rules? Absolutely. But that is not the case right now. Maybe next year. That is not the case right now. Let's go through the card. We have, I believe, 5 matches for this not pay-per-view, a PLE. We're calling them premium live events now, guys. Come on now. Let's get with the modern times.
It just doesn't roll off the tongue as well.
It doesn't, but that's what we're calling it, so that's what I'm going to stick with. We have
premium live events.
Premium live events.
Okay.
PLEs. All right. We have. Yeah.
He said, okay.
This is wrestling, yo. Keep going, man.
We have Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey in an Extreme Rules match. Bianca Belair versus Bayley in a ladder match. Matt Riddle versus Seth freaking Rollins inside the fight pit. That's going to be match of the night.
True.
I'm excited for it.
They actually got a UFC referee for this match. So they're going all in with this. I like that.
Can I add, hold on, is this true? Is Daniel Cormier the referee?
Yes.
I heard Cormier was going to do it.
Yep.
Okay, I got another question after, but it leads up to something else I think I seen, and I don't know if it's true or not.
All right, hold on. Let's get through the rest. Drew McIntyre versus Karrion Kross in a strap match. That might be a sleeper match. That has the potential. To be good. And we have Edge versus Finn Balor in an I Quit match.
As the main event?
No, I'm just reading the card. I don't know what's going to be.
I'm about to say,
but it's weird because I Quit matches usually end up with the wrestler leaving to the other promotion, or they just disappear off TV. Or I'll never forget and I don't want to sidebar too much, but the best I Quit match that I ever watched, not The Rock versus Mankind, because we all know that BS ending. Personally, not for me. Although of course it's iconic in its own right. The one that hit me personally, like as a child when I watched it, was Rey Mysterio versus Chavo Guerrero. That especially the ending where he had Rey Mysterio hanging off the scaffolding and bashing the hell out of his leg with that chair. And he made Rey scream the words, "I quit." Bro, that hurt me hard. I still remember it to this day.
I gotta go back to that one. I vaguely remember.
I'm gonna have to rewatch that one.
I remember it like it was yesterday. Ray screaming from the heavens, like he was like literally hanging, like off the scaffolding. His legs, he was upside down, and Chavo just kept waylaying into his leg with the steel chair, like
wow,
busted him.
wow.
And then Chavo went on to make mockery of Rey Mysterio in following episodes, down to coming out to his entrance. I remember SmackDown was hot at that time. SmackDown was red hot at that time.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But it's printed into your memory.
Yeah. I didn't have cable, so I could only watch SmackDown. This was when it was on UPN, I believe.
Yeah.
Way back when, Channel 33, either on Thursdays or on Fridays. So I tune in. I'm a SmackDown kid before NXT. I became an NXT guy. So, but yeah, I don't know how I feel about I Quit match. A last man standing probably would have been better, but
it's easier for storyline. But
yeah.
Last man standing is easier for storyline. And if it isn't moving the storyline along, just like in a musical, the song has to give you plot points or move the story along. Likewise, with the match has to contribute to the storyline. We've been dealing with a lot of filler stuff that's sports entertainment that isn't wrestling and wrestling storyline.
Right.
So now, when you ask the initial question, are we excited about this PLE?
The way he said it, you sounded
the way you say it.
Oh, dude.
You sounded absolutely.
WWE creative. Please stop talking to corporate America. Anyway, part of the reason why we don't have any heat behind this is because how does any of these matches contribute to the storylines that these persons are working with? When we did the thing about what makes a match good.
Talk about it, Trey. Trey remembers that day.
When it comes down to this pay-per-view, the Balor Edge, we don't care. We don't care, dude. We don't care, dude. Edge is just there as filler right now. Why is this even break? Either make an investment into it or break it up.
Now, I'll say this.
Mm-hmm.
If they could somehow spin this where AJ joins and they turn this into like a Bullet Club-esque type faction, I watch.
Sure, that's what they seem to be leaning towards, but right now it doesn't look like AJ's going to join. It doesn't look like right now. That could very easily swerve us with that. But yeah, like Kai said, I love Edge, love him to death. Finn, decent performer. I'm not invested in this match. I'm like, and I quit match. There's not enough emotion. I'm not invested in emotionally care about
Finn doesn't even strike you as he doesn't even have like a really submission type of package.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-mm.
So it's like
so it's like Edge is probably gonna win that one.
Yeah.
Right. With a crossface.
I don't think Edge should win though. He shouldn't. He shouldn't win.
He shouldn't, but it's like, see, if it was Finn, if it was Damian or Dom, I'd probably be invested a little bit more.
Yeah.
Logically, Edge would destroy Finn as well. Like, Finn on main roster just hasn't really been. Finn at his peak was when he returned to NXT. Peak Finn was on NXT. He just can't translate well on the main roster. And I like Finn. Finn can put on some matches, but
here's the thing. Looking at Finn now, I think we have to be patient. This is the slow cook.
Yeah.
This is about to be, I think they're literally trying to launch Finn into that main card picture.
Yeah. there's been rumors about that. They're apparently people are very high on Finn, especially since post McMahon that they're
So
trying to bring Finn back into the picture properly.
we have to really be patient with him and just let the slow roast happen. You know what I mean?
It probably, I honestly feel like Finn probably won't be in the main picture again until after a new champion has been crowned. Until after a new champion has been crowned.
That would be righteous.
Yeah.
Okay.
If they did do the long-term booking, like you're saying, Chase, and they make the investment into the character and they start bringing Finn, then he's going to be a good rival to Seth because it's very similar characters.
Yep.
So we could take a trip down the rabbit hole real quick.
Seth, he can have a good match with Cody. Whoever's in line, yeah.
Okay, let's take a trip down the rabbit hole. Let's say for shits and giggles, right? Mm-hmm. Bray wins the world title.
When?
Bray beats.
Oh, wait. I don't even want to cover Bray yet because that's a whole other thing. I didn't even put that. I didn't even put that in my notes. But a lot of this, I don't know if you all been watching. There's been a lot of this White Rabbit teasing, and all the signs point to Bray Wyatt. He even like retweeted and subtweeted something. Someone had a sign behind Michael Cole, and I don't know if they were a plant or it would just happen to be a coincidence. Revel in what you are, but he retweeted that.
Nice.
So if it's anybody but Bray Wyatt, people are going to be pissed.
So finish your thought, bro. So is it going to be before Royal or after Royal Rumble?
Can't call it. I can't call it.
Gotcha.
And that's honestly,
I think it makes sense for the Royal Rumble because then we can start putting together the storyline for Mania.
Yep. It makes sense for after the Rumble. But honestly, Bray coming back at any given point in time and you not knowing when he'll come back is a plus because there's anticipation. Especially
granted, there's space for creative to actually do something that promotes the storyline. Now, if Bray comes back before Royal Rumble, then I want him to win, not Braun.
I would.
You can plug in. I'm sorry, Chase. You can plug in Bray almost anywhere because the anticipation is there. I mean,
makes sense.
And with Triple H as head of creative, you know he's gonna let Bray run wild with his character.
What would make sense though?
What do you mean?
What would make we could plug and plot him anywhere and it'd be lit. But what would make sense?
Him haunting the WWE and forcing everyone to go into factions and actually focus in on
your goddamn faction war. Why?
Oh, you what, man?
It's what wins.
I knew that was coming. Force everyone to be like, what? All of the WWE against Bray Wyatt?
No. Yes. Haunt the WWE. Focusing. You have Bray focusing on the belt because you got to take the belts off of Roman. And we were talking about that last time. The best idea that we got is both nights of WrestleMania, he has to put up on either belt.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to go into. I wouldn't have Bray. Bray wasn't challenged for the title until it had to be either at the Rumble or after the Rumble. It had to be sometime after the Rumble because you want him to torment enough for. He got to have enough time to torment.
Yep.
Here's the thing.
Enough time.
Because I don't think he's returning. When he returns, I don't think he's returning back as the Fiend. Because and here's why. Here's why I say that. Listen, guys, follow me here. When Bray left, he always said one thing about him: he's constantly evolving himself as a wrestler. For him to come back as something that he was previously, even though it could work, I could be wrong. But the White Rabbit, I can't correlate it with the Fiend at all. I can't even correlate it with the Firefly Funhouse. It may be a whole new gimmick altogether because Bray Wyatt is constantly reinventing himself.
If that's true, I want this cat to be evaluated and meds applied.
What? Why?
I don't know. And if that's the case, then the character can't get no title shot. because we don't know if it'll be. We know he'll be over because Bray Wyatt, but it's like the
I
Fiend has
mean,
more. The Fiend has unfinished business. I just feel like
I agree. The Fiend does have unfinished business, but it's like Bray has been able to get. He got the hillbilly, the hillbilly cult over the
Right.
cult. He got that over. He got
Crazy.
the
We
Firefly
believed him.
over and the Fiend.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So if he comes with a third character,
I mean, Mick Foley did it. Shit, Mick Foley's had how many
but
characters?
he came in that way. Not he created it. No, this guy's creating it now. He's crazy. He needs to be reevaluated. He needs meds.
What if it works? What is the problem? What is the percentage that it works, though? What is the percentage?
We believe him. It's going to work. That's my problem, dude. You can't. It's Ted Bundy in us. Okay?
Hey,
He's going to come back. He's going to be over. He's going to be white hot. We want to see him do it. He no-sells everything, but it isn't logical. If they get rid of that logic gap and treat him as an ultimate monster character
like
with his
Taker.
as the Fiend,
Like Taker.
he can haunt the WWE without ever really being there and performing. He can perform 2-3 times between now and Mania, and we're still going to be like on the edge of our seats.
That's true. I mean, like I said, we don't know. We don't know.
Can I do my Prezi predictions?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Let's just take a trip down the rabbit hole, right?
Uh-huh. Talk about the white rabbit going down the rabbit hole. We're in Alice in Wonderland, kids. Go ahead.
I think what would make sense perfectly would be to make him return at Survivor Series, because that is also an iconic date when The Undertaker was born.
That's also true.
True.
So
Good one.
I would inject him right there, giving him time to create a storyline and somehow get the title. Either have Roman hold the title, keep screwing people until Mania, and we have a triple threat between Braun, Roman, and Bray.
Again?
Yes.
Well, I was with you until you said the triple threat. The second night of Mania, Bray needs to come at the end and then start haunting Roman. Roman needs to win because he has to keep one belt, and then Bray go after him on that one belt, and that be the nice rivalry for the next 3-4 months.
I mean, the reason why I say that is because it's long-term storytelling.
Right.
I mean, going back having the same match again.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, look, how many times did we see Stone Cold versus The Rock?
What's the outcome?
Because they hated each other, though.
How many times
That was
did we
lifelong
see?
rivalry. That's different. That was a lifelong.
That was a rivalry. That was a whole rivalry. Roman doesn't. Everyone in the company hates Roman and the Bloodline. He doesn't have a specific rivalry. No, you know what? That will be a lie. There's only one person they have a rivalry with, and it's Seth Rollins because of their history. Everyone else, no.
True.
Don't forget about Cody. Don't forget about Cody.
No, not even Cody. Cody came back for the belt. He doesn't necessarily. Cody came back for the belt. He doesn't have a rivalry with Roman Reigns.
No, that's what I'm saying. Not as far as a rivalry, but you can't forget him. That's a potential.
We can't.
He's going to be in the mix as well.
We definitely can't forget him, but we're talking about rivalries. The only person that has a rivalry with Roman is Seth. Right. No one else.
But you can.
No. I got two people. I got two.
Goldberg. I mean, Brock Lesnar.
But because of Seth and Cody's rivalry, you can throw Cody in there. You can put Cody in there.
I mean, we're not forgetting Cody. We're not forgetting Cody.
Right.
We're trying to.
You can use Cody for SummerSlam. You can literally inject him later on in the year.
But here's the thing. I just went back and thought about all of Roman's opponents. I mean, all of Roman's opponents. He only got 2 legitimate rivalries. 2. It's Seth Rollins, and honestly, it's Kevin Owens.
Brock.
What?
No, we're not going back to Brock Lesnar. I get it. They did have a rivalry. I will give you that on a technicality. They did. But do we want to run back Roman versus Brock? No. So forget mentioning Brock Lesnar.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm
All
trying to
right.
understand your, trying to understand your logic with
Do you remember the set of matches they have? And Kevin Owens still hates the bloodline to this day, and he wants Sammy out. Have you not been watching SmackDown?
Right. So it'd be nice if there was like some backup or a faction for him to like, coalesce around and like, make that wedge because
Kevin
Owens
hates the bloodline. And he hates Roman.
The 4 or 5 Samoans. What you gonna do? By yourself.
I mean, did that point, since someone wanted to mention Stone Cold, didn't Stone Cold beat everybody with a lead pipe? Everybody.
That was the NWO with one person who was so gimped in his legs and knees, Hulk Hogan.
No. I'm talking about when what was it? Was it ECW and WWE? And Stone Cold pulled up with the lead pipe and started beating the hell out of every single person that moved. Might have accidentally hit some WWE people.
Okay, that is okay. Yeah, that is true. That was a great pay-per-view.
And Kevin Owens has always been, he's never been the faction guy, ever.
I get it.
The faction guy.
But he could use some help. So if there was a faction,
the most you can do with Kevin Owens is a tag team with his buddy Sami Zayn. He's not going to do a faction. You can't put Kevin in a faction. He's not a faction guy. You're on mute.
I'm sorry. Oh my goodness.
All right, go ahead. I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm okay with him having a faction. That isn't the problem. I mean, him not being a part of a faction, that isn't the problem. But it'd be cool to have 2-3 guys like the APA running around that he can call on.
Okay, I feel that.
Having the 24. Anyway,
it's kind of like Wardlow and FTR.
Mojo? Oh, FTR,
I was gonna say Wardlow and FTR, or Punk and FTR when Punk was wrestling. I get that. Having a couple guys watch your back. I get that. It's not necessarily a faction, but you got some boys with you. I get that. I get that. But going back to Extreme Rules, because now we done veered too far off. We did. Not too far.
We had fun.
So we're all in agreement. Edge beats Finn.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not invested. I get it. He shouldn't. I get what you're saying, Mello. He should not.
I'm gonna say Finn beats him.
You're gonna say Finn? Okay. Odd man out. Okay.
This is gonna be the last match we
Finn wins. Finn wins on the technicality with AJ joining the.
I mean, technically, it's an I Quit match, so it's no disqualification. Judgment Day gets it. You know what? It could go either way. Because no disqualifications are usually a part of the I Quit stipulation.
A lot of times.
I mean,
a lot.
Every single time. So it could go either way. But it would look bad on the Judgment Day to lose in this kind of stipulation. We'll see. Well,
again, if they're able to tie it into a storyline and do some long-term booking, then it actually will have us talking next week or after the
we'll see
PLE. But if they are not able to have us talking about it,
and it's like
then they fail. That's what it really gets down to. They fail.
Got it,
because it's all going to be about the finish.
Got it.
I'm telling you, it makes sense for AJ to join Judgment Day.
We're going to see. We are going to see. All right. So next two matches, women's matches. Bayley versus Bianca Belair, ladder match. Who wins?
Should be a classic.
Definitely.
Yuck.
Bayley and Bianca have a rivalry.
Right. Literally a real rivalry.
And remember, Bianca beat Bayley in the last ladder match. In fact, that last ladder match led to Bayley being shelved.
Yep.
Put it to you like this: we can't have Bianca have another short stint without the wrestling, without WWE showing their hand. You know what I'm saying? And we all know what I mean by them showing their hand, because the last time she had a very short title run and she was squashed by Charlotte.
No, she was squashed by Becky.
Becky. I'm sorry. She's squashed by Becky in what, 30 seconds or less?
Something like that.
Yeah. but I believe she transferred over. She got back. She got back on that wagon. She became a Raw champion. When she lost, this was when she was on SmackDown. But she came back, beat Becky at Mania, and she's been champ for a good little minute now.
About a year.
So we have what?
Becky. Okay, we're gonna say she won. WrestleMania was what?
April.
Bianca has been champion since April. It is now October.
You think it's time?
And Damage Control is red hot right now. Dakota and Io Shirai just won the women's tag championships. Now, you don't have to pull the trigger on Bayley now.
Nope.
You don't have to do it now. But eventually, she's going to have to be a Raw champion.
I want to say you have to do it now because Survivor Series is coming up, and it makes sense for her to play the whole team captain role as the champion. So I would say it's smart to pull the trigger now and put the title on her now.
But why not? But why not have it to where that potential happens at Royal Rumble? Keep the belt on Bianca because I think you should.
You also have to remember we don't know when Charlotte's coming back either.
Correct.
Right.
Okay, but to me, it becomes the chase on the belt, the chase on the champion. That's easy storyline. And with
Vince has always set his mind. His mind is always at Mania to have a feel good ending. So,
Rumble.
Oh well, with the Rumble, what you saying? Take the title off her then?
We always say it'd be a chase. Keep the belt on Bianca through to Rumble. She drops the belt at Rumble, and then they can into WrestleMania with Bayley and Bianca.
Hmm?
I think
that would make sense.
Bayley,
why would you have a change?
Bayley has never main evented a Mania, to my knowledge.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I would leave it on her all the way until Mania.
Bayley got to win. In order for this to work, Bayley got to win.
Bayley definitely has to win because she's supposed to be the leader of Damage Control. How could she be a leader when she's not champion?
That's what I'm saying. It makes sense to put it on her.
Bianca's had a solid run as Raw Women's Champion. Like she has.
And they can lead back up to another match.
It makes sense. I say she's gonna win. She's gonna win. If WWE creators are thinking, and I know this time around they have Triple H thinking for them, then it makes sense to put the strap on her now, and then it just flows with Survivor Series.
You got continuity. You got a rivalry between Bianca Belair and Bayley that's lasted for a long time.
It still will, bro.
And then when you get once the rivalry starts getting a little old after Survivor Series, then you get
go ahead.
I was gonna say you could insert Japanese girl.
Io?
No, the other one. Oscar. You can insert Oscar.
I haven't seen a lot of Oscar though. I think Oscar's chilling. She's like
which
would
make sense.
She's chilling though. I like she doesn't really need it. Her YouTube is blowing up. He's on the Shinsuke schedule right now.
Yeah, I'm with it. But it would make sense to just throw her into a feud with Bayley to carry over until Mania.
Yeah, she definitely needs some feuds.
When you throw Sasha into it.
Sasha's
let's not forget about we got new talent coming in. What about Gonzalez? Don't do that. Don't do that. She's definitely main event worthy.
Main event worthy. I seen that NXT title run. That shit was a lie. Main event material.
Wait a minute.
It's just that's all I heard.
Wait a minute. Let's not act like, you know what I mean?
Dakota carried her. Dakota made us care about Big Mommy Cool. After Dakota left,
y'all have to stop
did
that
we
shit.
care about Raquel? The answer is no.
Y'all have to stop that. That big mommy
You
cool
gotta
shit
be
is not
making
okay.
good
That's what
points,
she
man.
is. She's a female Hispanic Kevin Nash. I don't care about her.
Oh,
Sorry. And
oh,
the fact that she was there on the Capitol with all the other people, she was there with Chris Jericho's wife on the Capitol, causing all that chaos. Yes, she was there.
Absolutely.
I
Beautiful.
don't care for her.
Beautiful.
It's done. Nope. Nope. No. Find someone else.
I think it's time.
No. Next match, Liv versus Ronda Rousey.
No one cares.
Nope.
No one cares for that match.
Honestly, though,
No, you
oh,
better not.
hold
hold
on. I
up.
care. I actually do
up.
care about this match.
Hold up. This could.
I want Liv.
This
I want-
could definitely legitimize Liv,
Yes,
It's
that's the only
Extreme
reason why,
Rules.
because it could actually affect the storyline.
and she's actually been trying to show her more scrappier side, like putting herself through tables and junk. I know you're not invested in Liv. A lot of us aren't, but this she beat Shayna clean.
Yep.
She beat Shayna clean.
Honestly,
And Shayna was
That was a mistake.
Ronda, huh?
That was a huge mistake.
I need Liv to lose, and this is why. I need Ronda to come back. I need Ronda to still. Because Ronda is still Ronda Rousey, so I need her to come back and get that title. I need Liv to go through this L, but I need Liv to get this like some sort of vengeance. But it got to be a bad like she has to go heel. I don't like her babyface one. I really don't. Like I feel like Liv needs to go heel. That's the only way.
The problem with Liv going heel is that she's too over as a face.
True.
And she already won people back with beating Shayna.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so why not break their heart?
What? Look, Vince, we just got rid of you.
I mean, then again, Daniel Bryan was the ultimate babyface, and he went heel, and he made that shit work. I mean, he gave us wood as a championship. He made a championship out of hemp, weed, and he made it work.
It was over, dude. He was over.
Just like, bro, he
That was the
got rid of the
corniest.
gold and bought out a
He was
vegan
over.
championship.
That was the corniest shit I have ever seen.
Bro, people
POD.
were buying that championship like hotcakes. They were
True.
buying that championship.
You just didn't
That's
like
all
the
the
Earth's champion.
I hated that title belt too. That was a
Look, I hated it too, but guess what? He got it over. He definitely got it over. I don't know any of us who like that belt, but guess what? He got that shit over. And he
Dude.
made you hate him for changing it.
Oh, God, that
He
belt
said,
was
no, you don't get cow leather for your
I
belt.
felt like I was
100% hemp. You can
I felt like I was
smoke that
watching an
belt.
episode.
It was not the 10 pounds of gold, dude. We were like, what in the world is going on? Dude?
Bro, when he did that, that was the most heelish thing you could ever do. I was
Bro.
just, what is
I felt like I was watching Ed Nettie. What's the little boy who carries the
Like,
wood?
Jordan Hey, but it worked. You hated Daniel Bryan's guts. You were like, how dare you? And that's what made Kofi's win all the more sweet, because we got the gold back. It's
Don't
just
even bring that up
finally,
again.
no more wooden titles. It's
No
over.
more.
Done.
Can we not? Oh, wait. I'll tell you what. I'll take the wood title over that Bray Wyatt title. That title was shit water.
You think that the title itself is bad? The price that they were charging? $1,400? Hell no.
Are you serious?
Dead
Are
ass.
you serious?
Guess what? People were buying it.
14, and it's not even gold on there. It's not an inch of gold on there.
1,400.
Are you shitting me?
I'm dead ass.
Oh, hell
Saving
no.
money. That's all. We're just saving money.
No.
Remember,
And Bray didn't even advertise that belt. They just made it on a whim. Bray never even wore that belt once.
no, he just carried it. He wore it. No, he did. He wore it.
When?
He wore it.
Never. He wore it one time.
I don't remember it, so it was a flash in the pan for me.
It was really one time, and then the next pay-per-view he wore the gold.
I guess.
All I know is
we got a comment from our loyal person who tunes in, Aaron Johnson.
What up, hey?
He's saying Liv is a natural baby face. Like her as a heel, she'd have to do something dastardly. And they missed the opportunity to turn her heel.
She's already a heel. I hate her.
Ronda before.
She's already a heel in my book. I hate her.
I mean, that's go away. No, that's not being a heel. That's you just want to do Roman hit the TV like this. Click. No,
correct.
That's not being a heel. If that's the case, John Cena is the biggest heel of all time. Because
absolutely.
Still don't like him.
Right. We don't like John Cena around here, man.
Don't let Mello hear you say that.
Mello, you a John Cena fan?
I'm not a fan, but he's good.
Right? You're an apologist.
He's in his top 5.
Come on, guys.
If you were gonna make a wrestling Mount Rushmore, he's on there for Mello.
Mute him.
Nah, we ain't gonna do that. We are not going to do that.
Oh yeah, these are jokes, man. These are jokes.
So who we got? Liv or Ronda? Extreme Rules match.
Ronda should win it, but she won't live well.
Here's the thing: where do you go after that? If Ronda wins, where do you go?
I mean, no one else is beating her in that division. Wait.
Huh? I'm already there. Don't do it. I'm already there. We get Ronda wins. We have her versus Shayna.
See, that's why I like you. And here's how the match ends. Because I know a lot of people are like, but Liv already beat Shayna. Why is Shayna going after Ronda? Here's what happens at the end of the match. It's Extreme Rules. Anything could happen. Shayna bodies the hell out of Liv for what she did. Absolutely brutalizes her. Lays her out for Ronda. Shayna attacks Ronda after the match.
Holds the title up.
Yep. And it's got to be brutal. You got to talk about breaking bones. That thing that she never did to Liv, she does it to Liv at Extreme Rules, breaks her completely, bodies her, tosses her in the ring. Go ahead, Ronda. Since you had a hard time, go ahead, pin her.
And if that's the case,
then Shayna comes behind Ronda with the Karafuda clutch. Boom. Shayna versus Ronda. Fight pit. Ooh. Woman's first time ever.
Sounds manly to me.
What'd you say, Trevor?
I said it sounds manly to me.
I'm sick and tired of you. People will tune in. People will tune in for that.
Truth. You just sold tickets with that storyline and that booking. You sold it.
Agenda match.
You have to take notes from me. Put me on his writing team. Because their women's division, and we're going to talk about that tonight too. AEW's women's division, with all the talent that they have in there, is garbage.
The AEW?
AEW women's division. With all that talent they have in there, it's garbage.
They're not using it.
About that later. We got to finish this. We got to finish.
We haven't even got through the cards yet.
Oh, wait, hold up. The 6-man tag between Imperium and the Brawling Brutes.
Nobody cares.
Yes.
Are you dead ass? Did you not watch Sheamus versus Gunther? And you got all of Imperium and all the Brutes in the ring beating the shit out of each other?
Yes.
Fucking crazy. That's going to be a wild ass match. You're fucking crazy. And the fact that the titles ain't even on the line, and I still want to watch that match?
Yep. No need. They don't like each other.
There's a rivalry there.
Yep.
What did Sheamus say? Banger after banger after banger. I'm going to watch this match for the sheer brutality of it. I can't wait.
Here's the thing. I think that they just took a step forward with the Intercontinental title in that match, and then they took 3 backward by having this match on the paper instead of having an Intercontinental title match.
I mean, it's not for the Intercontinental title. I don't expect it, but it's a faction fight.
That's my point. You took a step forward.
Like this.
But here's the thing, though. There doesn't need to be a title match right now, because after this pay-per-view, if we don't count Crown Jewel, after this pay-per-view is Survivor Series, and guess what? Bobby Lashley versus Gunther, US versus IC, and that match is going to go fucking insane.
So you're saying unify the titles?
No, it's Survivor Series.
So again, we're gonna have another pay-per-view with the title not on the line.
Yeah. What's the problem?
We took a step forward by putting it on. Y'all gave us a stellar match. Listen.
All right, okay.
Hear my line of thought.
Let me ask you a question then. Since he beat Sheamus, who is going to beat Gunther for that title? Who's going to beat Gunther for that title?
41 times.
Who?
Let me see.
I swear to God, if you say Dolph Ziggler, I will mute your ass.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Swear.
Thank you.
Who do you have that can legitimately beat the hell out of Gunther for the IC? The answer is
SmackDown right now. I would say so many ways you could really roll this.
Because he doesn't have any legitimate match. That's why he hasn't.
You can legitimately have Solo do it.
Who?
You can.
Cross.
I would do Cross.
Maybe Cross.
Hey, do Drew McIntyre.
No.
Y'all really don't want Drew to be champ ever again? Jesus Christ.
No, we don't.
What's wrong with Drew though? What's wrong with Drew? Huh?
I think the COVID WrestleMania did it. I think that's what did it.
But it's a mid card. It's not like he's winning the world championship again.
I know.
And he's been IC before.
Here's the thing: we don't want to see it again. That's the thing. There's a couple people that
haters.
one time
I'm surrounded by haters. Okay, fine. No Drew. Cross maybe.
Cross definitely. But I think so. No, let me not say Cross definitely.
I just think
Cross maybe. Solo definitely.
Huh?
Solo definitely.
I'm assuming with the help from the bloodline. Let's just add another fucking belt to the bloodline.
Of course.
But I don't agree with this.
Hold on. The reason why I say that is because this can turn into a feud between Imperium and the bloodline.
You could have all kind of feuds going on between Imperium. Right now, you got a feud between Imperium and the some cats.
Oh, Aaron brought
the
up an
Brawling
excellent
Brutes
point.
or something.
Thank you. Yeah, the Brawling Brutes.
Aaron brought up an excellent point. I forget because they had a match in NXT UK. And it was a banger. Walter and Pete Dunne. Dunne beat Walter. I remember that. And Walter beat him back. I remember that. Because Pete, even though he's a small dude, he's got that brutality.
He's a cruiserweight.
You say but you didn't watch the match that I watched. Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate bought that man to his knees damn near. In fact, I think Tyler Bate. No. There's 3 men from NXT UK that really put the hurt on Walter and really like pushed him to his limits. From NXT UK, we're not talking about Sheamus. Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, and Ilya Dragunov.
Dragunov isn't convincing.
Ilya Dragunov.
I'm not a fan of Dragunov. It's just, I don't know. He gives me
Dragunov is a more aggressive Cesaro to me.
Yeah, I'm about to say
he's a more aggressive Cesaro.
He's Cesaro mixed with Hitler.
Okay, that was uncalled for. That was uncalled for. And you know that was uncalled for.
I'm going to the corner now. I'm going to sit in the corner now.
You ain't worth 2 dead flies smash for that.
I'm gonna go sit in the corner now for that one. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I have
You're going
Thunder.
on mute.
I have him hold the title.
Terrible.
I have him hold the title until Braun come up here. Braun Breaker. I have him do it.
Ooh, Braun Breaker. But they would have to make a legitimate NXT championship, and NXT champion to take the belt off Braun.
What's his name? Wayne Gacy, whatever that boy.
Okay, you mean Wish.com Bray Wyatt?
Yeah.
They got some people that can do it.
Wyatt, you want him to be NXT champion? You're going on mute again. You're going on mute again.
Why? Wait. Hear me out. They had him chasing the title for so damn long. It only makes sense. Like, why?
No.
But why have him
multiple times within that span?
But he has his character has developed. His character has developed since then. Come on, Kareem. You really don't hate that hard.
Developed, or they couldn't find the proper gimmick.
I didn't say he's
between the two.
I didn't say he was over. I said his character developed. Don't make it synonymous.
How?
You're making it synonymous with he's over. I'm not saying he's over.
We're in agreement. He's definitely not over. But how has his character developed when he's only just switched gimmicks?
He's now a cult leader. Look at the two people that he's brought on board now. The other two guys that he's brought to the faction.
He was a cult leader. He was a cult leader already. Did we forget when he had Parker on his team?
Yeah, Parker was
his head bald, and now he's gone. Yeah, he was already.
But now he has two.
No, and those two should not be. I'm pissed that they took one of the best tag teams to come out of NXT UK and made them a members of Joe Gacy's cult. You're talking about the grizzled young veterans who got themselves over with their own gimmick, only for Vince just to throw them with Joe Gacy. Fuck no. Hell no. Joe Gacy can kiss my ass. No. Find someone else. I'd rather it be Grayson Waller.
So why not put the NXT tag titles on the grizzled young vets?
They're not the grizzled young vets anymore. They're stooges.
Where are we?
Easy money.
On the agenda.
You're gonna say something else out of pocket. I'm gonna mute you for the rest of the podcast. So, we're all in agreement. Ronda instead of Liv, or Liv over Ronda?
Ronda.
All right. Now, on to the match of the night. Matt freaking Riddle versus Seth freaking Rollins in the fight pit. Match of the night.
Matt needs it.
Matt Riddle goes over.
Needs it.
True.
But
he can actually fight in real life.
Unless Randy's on his way back.
Honestly,
is Randy on his way back?
I hate to be a negative Nancy, but I don't see Randy coming back. He was going to be gone for a hot little minute. If anything, they'd save his return for a Rumble before having him come back for this.
True.
And Matt's got to stand on his own now, and he's honestly been doing an okay job at it.
Unless Randy could come back and this just be the ultimate heel turn.
It could be. It will break people's hearts because they were okay. It would be.
After this match and everything, and Randy Orton coming out, and it's all cheers because Randy Orton back. Matt Riddle got his friend back, and then Randy Orton, he does what he do. And then this leads up to WrestleMania. That's the only way I can see Randy.
That's definitely a card. I like that. The problem is Randy himself. Remember that Kukai and I had a whole sidebar conversation about this because the same thing that happened with Randy is happening slowly with Drew. With that finisher, after long term, Randy's back is really feeling it. So Randy might be done.
Yeah. There's nothing left to prove.
Randy might be done. He might not come back unless it's to help like train and whatnot.
I don't believe that. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I think he's got a lot left.
Randy was supposed to have a match with Roman Reigns, remember?
See, but Randy Orton also was performing all the time. He needs to go part-time now. That's what it is. He don't necessarily need to be doing RKOs 5 times a week. He needs to just be doing them 2 times a week.
Agreed. But the thing is, say he were to go on a part-time schedule, can his body handle it now? Because we don't know the status of Randy's health. If his body is telling him, hey, we can do part-time, then great. Come back, do the part-time schedule. But if his back is telling him, hey, nah, man, we done. That's it. It's a wrap. We done did this shit too many times. And if you do it one more time, you may not get up.
Well, let's look at the time span that he's been in WWE. He's been 20 plus years veteran. And I'd say about 15 of those years he's been performing, 15 or more of those years he's been performing that RKO on a consistent basis. All right. He's also had a history of shoulder injuries, major shoulder issues.
Yep.
Collarbone, especially when Triple H threw him over the top rope and he landed, separated his shoulder in.
Yep.
I would say this lengthy time that he's taken out is probably good for him to recover. I don't think it's because of just the RKO, of course, affecting his back. I think this is his time of rehabilitation. Because remember, every time he got injured, he came right back. You know what I'm saying? So he never really had time to just really recruit and recover. And as you get older, you need a little bit more. You need more time to recover than you do for the actual surgery.
Yep.
So I'll say that it would make sense to make a return during the fight. But this whole time he's been out, I think this has been rest.
We'll see. So we're saying Riddle takes it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Riddle. I feel like Riddle has to take it. Or I really don't mind Seth Rollins taking it. But Seth Rollins actually is still beating Matt Riddle afterwards. And that's what provokes Randy Orton to either come out and help Matt Riddle, just to turn on him too. See, that can happen like that too. You can have Matt Riddle lose so much that he have to eventually win. But that's what's been the little stick right now too, as far as them pushing Seth Rollins and him. He's a loser, you know. He's just tested. He's steady just being poked at. So I can see him losing to Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins then continues to attack him. Randy Orton comes out, gets Seth Rollins out the way. Everybody's happy that Randy Orton's back. Then Randy Orton, he turns on Matt Riddle. I see that happening.
Valid. So we're all in agreement. We're all on the fence. It could either be Seth Rollins or Matt Riddle.
As far as long-term story booking, it makes sense. When we look down the history, Seth Rollins has injured Mr. Black, Malachi Black, Rey Mysterio. Who else? He injured, according kayfabe, Cody. Rey Mysterio.
His whole eye.
You know what I mean?
His whole eye coming out.
So it makes sense if after the match, it would make sense for Randy to turn heel. And it would make sense for Seth to do some more damage to Matt Riddle that'll sideline him and have him come back a little bit stronger with a new gimmick.
Okay. I like this. Now for the sleepers. I think this one's going to be unanimous. Karrion Kross versus Drew McIntyre. You're all gonna say Karrion Kross. All
Of
right.
course, man. Very true.
Please, God, if there is a God, a wrestling God in heaven, please let Karrion Kross win.
Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre.
You say that just to be contrarian, man.
No, Drew has.
Absolutely. I'm a hater.
Y'all all haters on here. God dang.
Claymore.
At least when I hate, it's legitimate.
Oh, that's cold-blooded, man.
Tell me I'm lying though.
Look,
Yeah,
Kross
Kross definitely needs this victory, especially since
he needs it. But what has he done to really earn it other than
Nothing.
Like,
Nothing.
He's done nothing to like. Why do he need this? Well, he's done nothing.
Because you have to reestablish Kross as a dominant force.
Exactly. And what better way than
Kross just got back. Remember, when he came on to NXT, what did he do? He ran roughshod over the roster. And because of what happened to him when he translated on the main roster, it ruined his character. Triple H is trying to reset that and bring him back to how he was on NXT. So,
right.
And Drew has been a champion already. Drew has had his matches. He doesn't really need it. He doesn't really need the victory right now.
If he loses this match, he's definitely getting a shot at Gunther. I'm gonna bet 2 times on that.
I'm not a gambling man. But why would Drew have a match with Gunther?
Because you gotta
Sheamus?
some type of love somewhere. Drew, he's took his fair share of L's too. He gotta have some sort of reward, and he don't have to win, but you gotta reward him with some sort of title match that can be top tier. Like you gotta reward him. You have to. Same as Seth Rollins. If Seth Rollins win or lose this match, he needs some type of reward. Like I just do believe that.
Here's the thing.
Look at what he's done as far as putting people over.
They really owe Karrion because let's keep in mind he did get squashed by Jeff Hardy.
They hold that man. They hold Kross.
No, he's old. That's why I say if he wins and Drew loses, I feel like then okay, Drew needs something. Because then what about Drew? Then what would Drew? You can't just throw him back in the title match that fast. So what? We're going to just save him for Rumble? What are you going to do with Drew until Rumble?
Period.
So have some
damn. Sam said bury that man. Jesus.
No, that's
damn,
a good
Kukai,
idea.
where's your heart, man?
Good idea.
Damn. He said bury. Ain't even gonna give the man a chance. He said, you're not the Scottish psychopath. You're a baby face we don't care about.
Drew's back is hurting. He just was at main evented the last PLE. Mm-hmm. He's good. He could wrestle for the next 3 months.
Okay, you want to know who I think should think about the Karrion Kross? Karrion Kross wins, right? Let Karrion Kross win. Who should take him out? Since we revamping people, Robert Roode. Maybe he needs to take out Drew McIntyre.
Oh man, that'd be great. That'd be great.
Whoa, we did forget about Mr. Roode. This would be a great way to introduce him.
Here's the problem.
That'd be good.
Here's the problem with that. Bobby Roode just underwent surgery. He's not going to be back for a long time.
How long ago?
Huh? Recent.
What for?
I don't remember what it was, but that's the reason they pulled him off TV. Why you haven't seen him? They have for his surgery.
Would he be able? Would you think what the surgery you read about? Will he be able to return like around WrestleMania and take Drew out?
Let me check. Hold on. Bobby Roode surgery. Wrestling hiatus. Robert Roode took to Instagram today and indicated that he had been suffering an injury. He He's back in Birmingham. Oh, I didn't know he was in Alabama. I didn't know that was his home. Huh.
How do Canadians move south?
He has not. Wait, granted, he has not wrestled since June 25th of this year. He had surgery. I don't know for what for, but the injury must have been extensive. So I don't even know if he'll be back in time for anything. There's no timetable on his return.
Because who like I just don't know who. Like you would have to then like plug Arian. They have to get plugged in into a title match as far as Intercontinental. You can have I don't know. I don't know yet. I don't know where you would go.
I mean,
Either one of
Solo. Unfortunately, Solo makes sense because Bloodline has to have every goddamn title for whatever reason. Unfortunately, it makes sense. But right now, besides Solo, everyone else would just be like dead in the water facing Gunther.
And maybe that's why Triple H, and this goes back.
That's probably why Triple H hasn't had matches for him, because he doesn't want to bury his roster.
And that's why he holding on to the title versus title stipulation match with Gunther and Sheamus. Maybe that's why he holding on to it until they get the proper bill for someone else to challenge Gunther.
Did you picture Solo both U.S. and Intercontinental title?
Also, and this is going to be a very controversial statement. I'll probably talk about it our following week, but just remember the statement: say nothing, ask no questions. I think what they're doing with Sami Zayn and the Bloodline is going to lead to probably one of the biggest, not only one of the biggest babyface turns for Sami Zayn, but it's probably going to lead to a title run. And I'm not talking about a tag team with Kevin Owens. I want you to remember that statement, and I'll explain it why after Extreme Rules.
No.
Hey, I just said to shut up.
No.
Hey, man.
No, I said I'll explain why after. I don't give a shit if you agree with it or not. I'm just telling you, I see something.
I wouldn't be against.
I'm not saying I'm with it,
Kukai?
but it's just something I see. It's one of two routes that could be.
I don't agree with this, but
That's your man.
I see.
That's your man. That's what I want you to look at the camera. When
Never
I say
said Sammy was my boy. Never said that. But we all know that when the Bloodline turn on his ass, that's going to make him one of the most sympathetic baby faces ever. That's going to be that genuine fact. Genuine.
Here's what has to happen.
Especially the way that they're telling this story.
In order for that to make sense, they have to do a number on him where he's sidelined for a minute. And he comes back with a new gimmick. They have to literally pummel him. They have to, I'm talking about thrash his ass. Like I'm talking
That's
about
probably what they're going to do.
With a crowd.
Everyone's thinking, oh, Bloodline beats the hell out of Sami Zayn. Kevin Owens makes the save. They become a tag team.
Sounds painful.
No.
I'm waiting.
I love KO. I love Sami Zayn. Keep them both as singles competitors. No.
I think it needs to have him get jumped.
Dude.
Roman hit him with several spears.
This might be fantasy booking for me.
I'm waiting.
I wouldn't do it. But if you're gonna do it, let's do it right.
Of course. Beat the hell out of Sam. Beat the hell out of Sam.
He has to get hit with multiple spears. He has to be guillotined at the end.
You want Sammy to be as sympathetic as possible. Like you want people to be crying and shedding tears, like when Jericho got betrayed by Kevin Owens at the Festival of Friendship, or like when
that's child's play. You need Batista.
I'm talking about for modern fans. Not everyone goes back and watches the Ruthless Aggression and Attitude Era. God,
you gotta go
damn.
back to Batista getting
Trying
his
to appeal
skull
to the
crushed.
casuals on this show. Sheesh.
You gotta go back to Rey Mysterio getting his skull crushed by
By
Great
Batista?
Khali. Not by
Okay,
Great.
how about this then? How about
Yeah,
this then?
I mean,
That was classic. I thought he was dead.
Ray's a small person. You're gonna get Ray's a small person. You're gonna feel bad for him no matter what happens to him.
No,
Did
no,
we
look,
forget
but here's
when
what I
Batista
think.
damn near took his head off? You were supposed to be my friend.
But if you want to make an emotional attachment to it, I would add Kevin Owens to it, but not necessarily Kevin Owens making the save. Kevin Owens trying to make the save and he can't, and he's sitting there and he's being forced to watch. I would do that. That way you can extend
that is righteous.
Honestly,
thank you, Mello.
I feel all that leads to me is a whole Edge and Christian moment where they end up. Well, shoot, an Edge and Christian / Eddie and Benoit moment with them holding respective titles. I see that. I see it.
Will it have the same impact though? No.
Not for you, because we came up from a different generation. No, it won't.
That would be. I feel like it would be.
KO and Sami Zayn will be to this generation, not to us. This generation, for what Benoit and Eddie were for everyone else way back when. You'll see the parallel.
Where's my mute button for you?
It's not gonna hit.
Oh,
wait, what?
Where's my mute button for you? I'm muting you.
Host, you don't get a mute button for me.
In
fact,
I'm muting you now.
Just for the hell of it.
see,
How about that?
How about this? So what I'm hearing is when you are host, you have the all-powerful mute button.
Yes, I do.
Here's the thing.
Don't
The
you
audacity.
yourself? Hell no.
The audacity of you
You
to
wait,
mute.
sit in the corner. But seriously though, this is what I'm saying. And I don't expect it to be fully like translated because I don't have trouble like fully translating my thoughts properly. But you'll be able to see parallels. I'm not saying they're the exact same people. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn do not wrestle the same way as Eddie and Benoit did back then. They clearly do not. But the fans resonate with them like people resonated with Benoit and Eddie back then. Eddie
You did not just say that.
I
Tell
said
me he
fans
didn't say
resonate. There are different fans today than they were back then, but
Okay.
they resonate the same way.
Kokai, tell me he didn't say that.
He did. He articulated and fixed his mouth in order to say what he just said. He said it with his whole chest.
Yes,
He did not say that.
I did.
No, you didn't. This is a dream. I'm gonna wake up any minute now, and
You're gonna wake up and end up on mute.
You did not just say that.
Hold on. So do you want this
did.
to happen? Hold on. My question is, hold on. My question, Kareem, is this is happening before Mania, after Mania?
I don't see it. I honestly, and it's crazy. That's why I said it could be dream booking because I'm not 100% legit that it's what happened. But
here's why you can't correlate those two. Let me tell you why. You can't correlate those two because the storyline of Benoit, they carried it over from WCW.
I get that.
Hold on, hear me out.
Okay.
If you have JR, who was a key instrument in making that moment happen like that. Just in him talking about the 12-year odyssey, or I think he said 15, a 15-year odyssey. He went back to WCW. And even though you weren't a fan of WCW, not saying you were personally, I'm saying you may not have been a fan of WCW, but just in JR saying that, he brought you into that man's long history. He said this has been an odyssey of his for 15 years. He's been chasing something. Now we know he won the title in WCW before he left. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, they told you the storyline, and then Benoit's weight. Just think about every title match he had.
Very good points.
Including the undisputed title, where he actually won via tap out, but there was no ref. You know what I'm saying? When he beat Brock.
I get that. I get that.
So it was like then to have Eddie, who won the undisputed title, same thing, same chase. You know what I'm saying? For years and years, chasing the world title.
I get
for
that.
years and years being the little guy, from going from cruiserweight to heavyweight. You know what I'm saying?
I get that.
And the both of them are friends, real life friends. You can't recreate that moment in this.
This is my point. I get what you're saying. It's not going to hit the exact same way. It's not going to hit the exact same way. It's not. And I know that.
So what are you trying to say?
Huh?
Well, I'm trying to figure out the guy.
Yo, just shut up. Damn, I let you have your points. And you made excellent points. I'm saying for today's fan base, especially those who are fans of the indie darlings. I'm not talking WCW and WWE. I'm talking about people who watch these guys in the fucking bingo halls, seeing them go through Ring of Honor, probably New Japan for Sami Zayn, etc., seeing them in NXT, seeing them as rivalry, seeing them, in their respective championship path in WWE. Sami Zayn's never won the big one ever, right? Kevin Owens has won it once, and that reign was garbage, if we're being honest.
Right.
So the paths aren't exactly the same, but the fact that they were indie darlings first, and then they're both reaching this plateau, plus them both having issues with the bloodline. I'm talking storyline now. I'm not talking about career history. So there are similarities. It's not exactly the same. But I believe, and I could be wrong, I believe you'll get a similar fan, what's the word I'm looking for?
The buy-in. Buy-in to where there's the emotional release when they are the moment that you're talking about. Yeah. That's what you're making. Okay. So I think like I said, how much the buy-in is what we may not be calculating proper. When it comes down to Eddie and Benoit, we were that bought in. They knew we were that bought in. So when they did that, it was easy to see us go along with it. With what you're articulating, it right now, it looks good on paper. We just don't know if the fans are as bought in as you believe.
But that's why you are having. But that's why I say, you get him. You want Sammy. You want Sammy to win the big one. You want this rivalry with Roman Reigns. You want Sammy to come back with this new gimmick and be a champion. He has to get beat, like you say.
He has to be, and this is why I said it plays well with what Chase said earlier. You have to brutalize the hell out of Sami Zayn, and then adding Kevin Owens watching that and can't do anything.
You have to put that in there, and when you do, Kevin Owens, it stands the story. Kevin Owens has to go through a gauntlet with the bloodline by himself now. His friend is hurt, just for Sammy to eventually come back. When he comes back, we don't know if he gonna win or not, but he has potential. He knows everything about the bloodline. Now he's taking them out one by one. Sammy gotta have some sort of mean streak coming.
That's why I said during that beat down, he has to be off TV for a while.
Yep.
And in that time, here's the thing: during that time, I would, in my personal opinion, I would put him on a strict motherfucking weight lifting regimen.
Yep.
Get that man chiseled.
Yep.
Yoked.
Yep.
Stacked. Bring him back like a fucking grizzly bear.
25 pounds, man.
At least. You hear me? Mm-hmm. At least. That's least.
Fair. That's fair.
25 pounds.
Then we got possibility. Then
yoked. And when he comes back, you have to make it make sense when you bring him back. It has to be like he cost somebody, you know what I'm saying, a match, or it ends in a no DQ, you know what I mean? No contest. You know what I mean? But the fans are just raving that he's back and he's yoked.
It'd be like when Dean Ambrose came back swole.
Right. He came back yoked. Or even when Eddie came back yoked. And he wasn't always yoked, man.
Yeah, but we're clear. This just needs to happen with Sami Zayn because Kevin Owens, he's not going to lose that. He's not going to.
Nah.
He's not. But
although
Kevin Owens hasn't.
He has that build like Bubba Ray.
Yeah.
And Bubba came back yoked. You know what I mean? And chiseled.
Fatty yoked, but I get what you're saying.
Man, he was yoked when he came back to TNA, man. He was chiseled. That man calf muscles like he like to step on your head and bust your head like.
I mean, his calf muscles, yeah, but his belly was still there though.
No, it wasn't.
That neck.
He was yoked. That man was chiseled. He was.
Kevin Owens don't have to get all yoked though. That's not
Kevin Owens, and here's my thing. Although what's happening with Sami Zayn, the crowd is endeared to Sami Zayn because of how the bloodline's been treating him. He hasn't been turned on yet. So everyone's happy, like, hey, Zayn is living the life. But Kevin Owens being the the whole opposite of Sami, Kevin has endeared himself to the fans already.
So how you do it is you got Jay already not really feeling.
They're already waiting.
So you get Jay to catch him up. You know what I mean? Either dapping up with KO at the end of a match or something like that, or in the backseat, and it comes out that he's actually a mole or something like that in the family, and then like make Jay and Roman really start butting heads again. You know what I mean? About the whole situation. For Roman discovers that he's a mole, and then he go like, "I forgive you. Let's bring the family back together. I'm sorry I ever doubted you." And then that's when they bash and smash Sami Zayn, get him up out of here. You know what I mean? And then
I don't see that. I don't see that happening. That mole aspect, because Sami Zayn has just endeared himself. Sami Zayn will have to screw up a match on accident. That's
cool with that.
Yeah. Because Sami Zayn's like that kid trying to be with the popular kids.
Correct.
He's the nerd. That's why a lot of people resonate with him. He's the nerd trying to be with the jocks.
And these motherfuckers are jocks, though. Let's keep that in mind. They are yoked, man. Like these dudes are like Samoans are some big dudes, man. I'm sorry, man.
You telling? I got family members. Yes.
These dudes are like 6'5". 320, just all muscle, just like, dude, what do you eat?
I'd be 14. I'd be 14.
We have been all over the wrestling planet, but we're gonna see what Extreme Rules looks like next week. There's so many ways they can go about this. Hopefully
Logan Paul walks away with the title.
No.
Lord have mercy.
This would be the
any takers on that?
This would be like the fifth, sixth time this evening.
Start a riot. That's inciting a riot, if you ask me.
True.
We're gonna go into we're gonna skip over the AEW women for a minute. They can wait. We need to talk about this guy right behind me, the great Antonio Inoki. Now, Chase is not a fan of New Japan Pro Wrestling, but you gotta give respect where it's due. Without this man, there would be no Finn Balor, there would be no Kenny Omega, there would be no Young Bucks, there would be no Bullet Club. The only person that probably would still have a great career would probably be AJ Styles. Everyone else literally came up on Pro Wrestling. We wouldn't have we wouldn't have Okada, Naito.
Definitely would not have Okada.
We wouldn't have Jushin Liger. A lot of people. Oh, let me take you off mute.
2 generations. You wouldn't have WrestleMania without this man behind you.
I don't think we would have.
Yeah. He definitely, fun fact, along with the fact that this guy fought Muhammad Ali, which is crazy to me.
For real.
He was the first ever Japanese WWE, when it was WWF, champion.
Yeah.
Not on the record
Bob Backlund.
Yep. They kind of like took it off the record books, though. They don't really count it, which is terrible to me. But First ever. And we haven't had a Japanese WWE champion since.
No.
Here's the thing. I think if WWE is smart, marketing wise, I would go ahead and put that back on the record and just like in honor of his passing. I think it would be smart marketing wise. I hate to use somebody's death as marketing tool, but I think in order to get that Japanese fan base back fully, all the way engaged, respect his death, go ahead and add him to the record as a champion. I mean, what would it kill? You know what I mean? Kill you to go
he's
ahead.
definitely going to get a post-thumbness Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I would imagine that because,
I can't hear you, Mello. You sound far away.
No, I'm saying they acknowledged. I believe they acknowledged him Friday.
Yeah, they did, and he's definitely going to go into the Hall of Fame. That's guaranteed. So they're going to have to acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be smart. Like it would just be smart. Like I would do it. You know what I mean? And just like for the next couple of weeks, just literally buy into it, and that would get that Japanese fan base fully back engaged in WWE.
The Japanese fan base only have 2 women. They have no Japanese men on either roster.
Shinsuke.
Nope.
Shinsuke's part-time. Can't count it.
And at the end of his career.
Because most of his career was spent. Wow, we wouldn't even have Shinsuke Nakamura.
Right.
He spent most of his time. He spent most of his time in Japan, and his body was probably damaged the most in Japan.
All due respect, that wasn't a major loss if we never had him.
Wow, dude. I know.
Oh, y'all know what I'm doing already.
You're about to say you're just a glutton for punishment this show, dude.
Hear me out. What are y'all doing with him now?
I mean, the thing is, he chose this schedule. Apparently, he never wanted to be WWE champion.
Did he make any kind of impact in WWE, really?
He made money.
In NXT.
Don't worry. I'll wait.
Only in NXT.
Money.
Huh?
Said he made money. He won the Royal Rumble.
Exactly my point. Selfish game.
He won the Rumble. He's been IC. He's been US, I believe, tag team.
Are any of those runs memorable?
He's never won a world title.
Any of those runs were memorable?
Huh?
Any of those runs memorable?
And I think that's on him though, because he had more of a time and better matches in NXT than he did on the main roster.
So let's look at the facts. We do with actual facts. Now that we done listed that, none of the runs were memorable.
Yeah.
Didn't really make an impact.
Well, be specific. None of the main roster runs were memorable.
Truth.
Remember, none of
Are you serious?
It's the same case with Finn Balor. Great on NXT, does not translate well on the main roster.
The only reason why people
NXT champion, the only NXT champions, plural, that were able to go from NXT to the main roster and translate well were Seth Rollins, Big E Langston, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn. That's it. Shoot, even Bobby Roode was an NXT champion. Got lost in the shuffle on the main roster. Malachi Black, NXT champion.
I would still say all of those guys had more of an impact on the main roster than Shinsuke Nakamura.
Of course, but they were on a different schedule than Shinsuke Nakamura as well.
Shinsuke didn't start part-time.
He won them on a whim. Dude literally said in his interview, and I'm not taking away from what you said. Yes, none of those runs were memorable, but he didn't want to really be champion. He did it on a whim, lost it, went back to do his surfing thing.
I'll run with you. Let's run with your line
in his twilight years.
Let's run with your line of thought. Let's just say for shits and giggles, that's the case. All right.
It is the case. He said it in interviews.
Okay, let's run with it. Okay. Still, there's a bunch of people that never touched the heavyweight title that still had memorable runs as U.S. and Intercontinental title, Intercontinental champion.
Yeah.
His run, even when because he didn't start part-time. Let's keep that in mind. He didn't start part-time. So with that full-time run, he did absolutely nothing.
Full-time, he came in red hot. People wanted to see him face AJ.
Ooh.
No, he came in. I remember when Shinsuke debuted on SmackDown. He was going to face AJ Styles for the WWE Championship, and people were hyping that match up for WrestleMania because of their past match in New Japan. I was one of the people hyping it up. The problem was AJ and Shinsuke back then were not the same as they were at WrestleMania. They were past their prime. Even though AJ was still in great shape, still putting on banger matches, Shinsuke had probably had more hard-hitting matches in New Japan.
So here's my thing. Here's where they messed up with that. If you would have added that to the promo, where you know how back in the day JR would say something during the promo and they will isolate that in the commercial. Like, why don't I have one of the announcers say, "Oh, these guys have been up and down the roads of Japan. These
Vince never ever. Michael Cole just now started talking about other companies that wrestlers have been a part of. Vince didn't want to acknowledge other companies.
Yes, they did, because they did
No,
with
he
Benoit.
didn't.
They did it with Benoit.
He stopped doing that 2010s. I'm going to say it 2010s at a minimum.
I'm about to say, you don't go far back.
JR acknowledged it during the Attitude Era, because I know what you're talking about. When he acknowledged it, it was very rare, very few times.
He did with Brock too.
As time went on. Michael Cole started doing that prominently. Shoot. What's his name now? Used to be on NXT. Mauro Ronaldo, the Mamma Mia guy. I forget. Pop culture guy. I forget his name. But he was acknowledging past wrestlers' history on NXT.
The reason why I say that,
allowing that on the main roster, and if he did, it was limited in the era.
The reason why I say that though is because then it invites us who may not have known of their Japanese background and whatnot in New Japan Pro. You know what I'm saying? It invites us in, and so we're not lost in the sauce of that match. Or why should we be invested in that match? A lot of people looked at that like that was a regular ass match. You know what I'm saying?
It wasn't going to meet the expectation. They did that as a shot to New Japan. They were not going to have that same caliber match because they aren't the same people they were back then. There were callbacks, but they weren't going to deliver that same caliber of match. And Shinsuke did not want to be world champion, because being the world champion, meaning you had to go to press conferences, meaning you had to do commercial stuff. You had to do everything that requires you of being the champion. Roman's in commercials. He's doing media stuff. Shinsuke didn't want that. And Shinsuke just allowed himself to fizzle out on the main roster. You're absolutely right. Everyone else that wasn't NXT champion, that translated on the main roster and possibly did not win world titles, they still had a lot of stuff going on because they were more dedicated to this. They wanted more. Shinsuke realized that after NXT, so he got injured in his last match with Bobby Roode on NXT. This was before he left for the main roster. He made a decision, a conscious decision between then and the main roster, that he couldn't do it as much as he wanted to. And he just wanted to live out the rest of his life. He wanted to do it to get paid. And he's getting paid.
That's what I said.
This was not prime Shinsuke Nakamura from way back when. We got an older Shinsuke Nakamura who could still put on good matches on NXT, but because of how hard-hitting NXT was, it affected his decision on how he was going to be on the main roster. That's why we got the non-memorable title runs that you're talking about. That's why the WWE Championship match at WrestleMania was a bust. That's why. But he went with it because, he really just had to phone it in. And this is no disrespect to Shinsuke Nakamura, but nothing going to be better than his NXT run and stuff he did prior to joining the main roster. Nothing.
I agree on that.
That's why I swear up. That's why I swear up and down. When it comes to Shinsuke, I would rather go back and watch his NXT stuff. I'm not gonna watch a main title match. With the wisdom that I have now and knowing what I know now, I can say that I would rather just go back and watch him on NXT. If you were talking about way back when, remember, because I thought he was going to be WWE champion, and when he lost, I was just like, well, what the hell? Why hasn't he been in the title picture? But what I didn't know, he didn't want to be in the title picture.
But that's why I say he got one more good push. One more. Probably one more.
If any. The man wants to surf and get paid.
So here's how you do it. Here's how you book him. We know AJ is now getting ready to join Judgment Day or the new Bullet Club. So how you do it is you bring Shinsuke in to be their opposer. Team him with Edge, maybe Rey Mysterio, and then have Dominic probably either flip or start having some reminiscent moments where he misses his dad.
Nah, I don't need Ray or Dom to be involved in any of what you're saying. I need that telenovela. I need that telenovela to play out. I need to see I need to see the whole Spanish triage. I need it to play out like that. I need to see. My son won't listen to me, man. My son.
That's real.
I don't know how to bring him back.
That is real, dude. That is real, dude.
I don't know, man. And then you have Santos Escobar come in. We grew up watching, man.
He said,
We will bring him back and show him who his true. I mean, and it'll be like a whole mafia thing, because that's how Legado del Fantasma, that's how they operate. It's like a mafia, but they wrestle.
So you say bring Escobar in.
Yeah. Beat some sense into that boy.
I'm with it.
Yes. Ray gotta get people connected. Edge's family, but he not family. You get what I'm saying? Edge is the family friend. They happen to be a tag team together. True. But you talk of Santos Escobar, a guy who grew up watching Rey Mysterio Sr., who grew up doing Mexican wrestling, who lives, breathes, eats, sleeps lucha libre. Come on.
That's long-term. That's long-term story booking.
He's like, your son has disrespected the mask. He's disrespected lucha libre.
Oh my God.
What kind of father are you, man?
Oh, you're doing a promo
writes
too.
It writes itself. You see, my father raised me, Fantasma Senior. My father raised me never to disrespect me. And you let your hijo, your son, disrespect you like that on national TV?
Wait, is Chavo free agent yet?
But I don't know. I don't know where Chavo is. See, your son is following the road of Eddie Guerrero, but in the wrong way.
And when the Hector's birthday yesterday?
Huh?
When the Hector's birthday yesterday?
Who?
Hector Guerrero.
Eddie? No, he's not on the 1st. It's somewhere in the middle of October.
I said Hector. Hector.
I believe it's the 18th.
Hector?
I believe it's the 18th of October. It's somewhere around there. But yeah, man, it needs to be a telenovela. I need to have the drama and all of that. They need to capitalize on that, man. Oh, that would make for excellent TV. Have Ray sitting down in the chair, Santos opposite in the suit, with the mask on the side, like, Ray, you need to bring your son back. And if you don't, we will. And we will take your mask as punishment.
I'm with it.
Never wrestle on Raw again. We will take your mask. You will retire. And we will deal with your son.
You know what? I see one of those attacks happening like that where Dominic unmasked his father, and the Judgment Day puts like a little, the veil they put over your head right before they're gonna execute you.
Yeah.
They put the veil over his head, and he hits him with a frog splash.
Nice. See, it writes itself.
With his father's mask on.
And then Santos got to step out and see, you have disrespected Lucha Libre for the last time.
It's over. There will be like, hey, there's some wrestling happening. Correct.
You and me, Texas bull rope match.
Oh, over.
All the rest.
For money. I'm there for the ticket. I'm watching, yes. Because that bull rope match, he's gonna beat the living snot.
I will beat respect of Lucha Libre into you. If it
Your
is
back.
I do.
Yeah, your back is gonna look bad the next day. Twitter will have pictures.
How
pull baloney, man.
you disrespect Guerrero, and with each lash, you disrespect Guerrero. You disrespect.
They will be jumping.
You disrespect Fantasma.
Will be jumping.
And he's got.
And I don't like the
and
flippy
with each
dip,
lash,
but
he's got to
watching
name
that.
every iconic Lucha Libre wrestler. He's got to.
I hate the flippy dippy, but I'll watch that.
I mean, Lucha Libre invented it. It probably wouldn't be in Japan if it wasn't for Mexico. And Mexicans, they just have a certain swagger with it. It's different.
So is Lance Storm's school up and running still?
That I don't know, and that I don't know.
Now I think now we need a new dungeon. We need a new Calgary dungeon now.
Oh Lord! All right. Shout out
Canadians do it better.
Shout out to Antonio Onoke. Thank you for New Japan. Whether people love it or hate it, we cannot deny its impact on the wrestling world. Gotta go back and watch that match with him and Muhammad Ali, because this is interesting to me. That's crazy.
Real match. Real match.
Real match. I definitely got to watch that.
Baseball slides.
But let's
just shot at the end of that match.
Let's move towards AEW, in particular their women's division. And that's where we're gonna close. Because man, how do you have well first off, let's talk about Paige. Paige coming back, that was a surprise to me. But then the promo she cut the following week was just, and I get it. She hadn't been in the ring for a long time. She hadn't cut a promo in a long time. But why is one of the first things you say ragging on, and she says it wasn't, but I'm like, why would you say I work for someone who listens to me? Then you go on Twitter saying, you weren't talking about Triple H not listening to you. I'm like, one of these things is not like the other. So this promo that you were given was not your own. It was scripted. It was garbage, and Tony Khan wrote it for you.
Yeah, I'm about to say you see the culture. You see the hidden hand, and you see the culture of AEW.
I'm like, there are people who were legitimately tired of WWE, but then you have Paige, who's absolutely benefited from the WWE. Absolutely. And you go and say that? Now, with her, in her case, that was Tony trying to, hey, you work for me now. I need you to go cut a promo on WWE, talking about how they treat you and whatnot.
Vince McMahon shit.
And it's like you guys are getting $1 more or less by doing this. Like all you gotta do is pay attention to what the big boys are doing.
I wanted from Paige a passionate promo about how she had She had thought her wrestling career was over because apparently she's cleared. We have yet to see her wrestle, but apparently she's cleared. I wanted to see a passionate promo about years you missed in the ring. All that hard work to say that AEW is my house. And any one of you bitches that think otherwise, you can step in the ring with me. That's what I wanted to see from Paige. I don't use the B word often. It's very derogatory, but that's the type of promo I wanted to get from Paige. I didn't get
that. Now keep in mind. Go ahead, Miller.
We're giving him too much credit, 25. I don't think he broke that. I just honestly, I don't even think she was referring to somebody. She was referring to Mr. Man. And some you have to understand some wrestlers, and this is my opinion, some wrestlers, they just want to move on to something new. They want to be around people that they was in the business with before. So she probably have friends and things. I feel like it's just more of I just want to try something new. And the way she went about it was just not. That's not how you do it. As far as your promo, because like you say, she should have came out and talked about more her injury. But at the same time, we've seen that.
Here's the problem: she can't even say Vince was a bad boss to her because she got a documentary. She got multiple title runs. She was even given a managerial role, so she'd still have some work. She was still paid while on the shelf. She was allowed to do her Twitch with the company. They renewed her contract even while she was injured. So Vince wasn't a bad boss to her either.
Not to mention she did a porno too and should have been punished.
Yes. It wasn't even, that was leaked stuff. By the way, please stop putting your stuff on your iPhone. Stop leaving certain videos and stuff that you do on your easily hackable devices. I'm a wrestler. If I was a wrestler, do you think I would be videotaping myself and my spouse in my spare time for it to get hacked up from my phone or computer to get remotely hacked and it get leaks on the internet? Especially if you have an iPhone, the easiest, most hackable device in the world. Why would you do that?
That's a mistake. But as far as just the Tony Khan, like I just feel like if Tony, this is too much credit. If he done that, then he definitely knew CM Punk was going to cut a promo that he did. Like,
but it sounds like Tony. Tony's trying to say that he is the best wrestling game in town. Like he's trying to say that.
He's far from.
Yeah, but that's why I feel like I don't see that. And if that is the case, I'm saying like if that is the case, then he knew CM Punk was going to cut that promo at the press conference. I'm a double down on that one too. If this guy is doing that,
and if he knew,
right, then he knew that press conference was going to go down like
And
that.
if what you're saying holds true, if Tony actually knew Punk was gonna say those words, that makes everything worse because now you're letting the inmates run the asylum.
Truth.
You are not a boss. You are everyone's whore. Everyone is bending you.
But that's why I feel
backwards and sideways.
That's too much credit to give him. Like, oh, just write this about them. I just think that's too much credit to him. I don't, and you can put nothing past anybody.
But Tony has proven to be out of touch multiple times. You could see from his Twitter account. When wrestlers say one thing that they disagree with Tony Khan will like subtweet or he'll sub or he'll say something. He'll say something like that's tone deaf. He's done that. He has no PR team. He has no real control over his wrestlers. As a matter of fact, if Jon Moxley and Chris Jericho were not there, that company would probably be in the trash.
But remember, I said this a year ago. I said I give it a year and a half before y'all start seeing the slow death. Everybody was on me then. Did nobody want to listen to me then?
Everything was going well until everything with Punk, with the injury and then his beef with the Elite. Literally, everything was going well. Everything was going well. No, that's a lie. Everything was going well until MJF's pipe bomb.
There you go. Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
MJF's pipe bomb exposing Tony. And not even like exposing him for not making him a champion, exposing him for like, you're paying these guys more than your homegrown talent. Oh no, I'm out of here. You won't see me. I will be in my house working out, and I will not be back until you pay me the same or more.
And then he got punked. And he punked Tony.
He punked Tony. Then Punk got injured. Then all this stuff comes out of between him and the Bucks and Omega. Then the media scrum. Punk getting injured again during the fight.
Right.
Literally.
Right.
I told you all that this thing was not going to work. I told you all there was not enough corporate heads in the back to keep everything leveled off.
Cody was the biggest. You know what? I'm going to go back even further. The moment Cody Rhodes left.
No.
The moment Cody Rhodes left. Cody Rhodes was the last business head.
Greg, I'm in agreement with
AEW.
you. I'm in agreement with you on that front, but we still had lots of hope, and they had a lot of forward momentum still going when Cody left.
But here's
that was 6 months ago, man.
Where, Kokai? Where?
Here's the reason
why.
Oh,
because they were still bringing in people. Thunder Rosa was rocking. They were still looking at the indies. Thunder
Rosa sucks.
Hold on, the ratings were still going up, but it was still back then. It was still new, and nobody knew that. Anyway, the ratings were still going up. What? The ratings were still going up because they just had their first $1 million house, and it was because of all this controversy. As it was breaking open, they had their first $1 million house. They really are. I mean, that controversy gave them the greatest ratings they've had so far in the 3 years that they've been in operation.
The controversy and MJF's return.
Well, yes, we're paying attention because of that. But without that controversy, because his return is a part of the controversy.
If Cody had never left and if Cody had never left and MJF never did that pipe bomb, things would probably be a lot better for AEW right now. But Cody was the last business-minded guy. Cody even said it himself. It came to a point where I had to start being a businessman and stop being one of the boys. And that's when the rift between him and the Elite started. And then he had a rift with Tony. And his complaint was similar
to
MJF's.
Oh,
you all aren't paying me enough. You're paying these guys more.
Think it's going to stop now?
Yeah, but you got to actually put people in the seats. And when you've got Elevation and Dark, when you've got all this roster talent, to go back to the women, Chris Statlander, I haven't seen her in months.
Injured. They're barely doing anything. They had Jade Cargill. Cargill with Trina.
Let's look at this. Why are they having that many damn injuries?
Because they're stiff.
No, because they think every match is supposed to be a 5-star fucking match.
Did you see? And I hate. Did y'all see what? Oh my God! Did y'all see the Avalanche power driver that the women performed? What's the interim champion name right now? Toni Storm. She was going against Serena Deeb, I think. Serena Deeb. And she did an Avalanche power drive.
Why?
Top rope.
Why?
And I guess they ended the match off. But when you see it, you're like, no, like y'all doing that.
Why would you do that?
See what I'm saying? Like there's no big wigs in the back saying that's not a good idea. No, let's go this way.
No, there are people back there. Badass. He says that. Danielson telling them that they're doing too much.
here's
Jake
the
the Snake
thing.
came in. He said they were doing too much.
Kukai.
But hear me out, Kakai. It's hard
Kukai,
to hear it from another
to
wrestler.
Chase's point, you have wrestlers that will make suggestions, but they're not necessarily corporate people.
They're not corporate.
Okay.
It's hard hearing it from your boy that's in the thick versus you hear from a corporate wig that you respect and you're like, hey, and they got
And that's
that
why I
authority.
said that's why
And
I
they
said he was the last corporate guy.
So it's like now it's like again they're children with no guidance. I told y'all that from the beginning. I said that. I said the reason why this company is gonna go down is because they don't have enough corporate guys in the back. They don't have enough experience in the back there. I'm talking about corporate wise to guide them and say that's not a good idea. Let's go this route. That's not smart marketing wise.
Jericho can only say so much. He's a locker room leader at best, but he can only say so much.
But not everybody respects Jericho.
Majority of the rock-
And you heard it from Hangman Page himself. He's not the type to listen to advice from the older guy. That blew my mind when I heard that.
Listen how foolish that sounds. But just listen to that.
But you have people like Jericho, Daniel Bryan, John Moxley, hell, even CM Punk, and you're not gonna listen to them.
Badass Billy Gunn.
Now, just tying it back into what we was talking about to stay on topic a little bit. If I were them, I would put Jade Cargill as Jay 2 belts now. Put that strap on that woman immediately.
They're not doing anything. They're having her chill out with celebrities, and she was with Trina a couple weeks ago.
Correct.
So stupid.
Not in the ring.
And now they're gonna have her fight Nyla Rose. Like
For what? Like, why is she even still? Is she still a thing? Shim still a thing? Yeah, I said Shim. I don't care.
you're gonna get this podcast.
That Roman face.
Hear what I said.
I said what I said. Shim. It's not a she. It's a he that went through an operation to become a she and wrestling in the women's division as a she when really she is a he. If that makes sense to everyone else.
I think you made it plain, man.
Well, hopefully,
No disrespect.
hopefully
to the
when
community.
when we do get big, no one decides to dig this episode up. Then I'm gonna have to keep you off the show for a few episodes. Because I could totally see that happening. Oh, don't let the Twitter folks get their hands on this. It will be a wrap for you. And then they'd be asking me, do you condone this? And I'm looking at them like,
I'll be on the phone. Say no.
I'm gonna
Say no.
have my own personal views, but
Oh my goodness. This is
That's no
wrestling.
talk
disrespect.
about the wrestling.
That's no, but Nyla Rose sucks though as a wrestler too. Though. I'm sorry. She sucks.
Damn, you double it down on this for real.
You're too far off. I mean, now the road time has passed and it's horrible. It's bad.
If I'm talking about wrestling, it sucks.
And we got 8 more minutes. We're gonna wrap this up shortly. Aaron brought up another point. What happened to Ruby Soho? They bought her up
Right.
as a big deal.
No.
Disappeared.
Broken nose.
Oh, broken nose. Oh, who broke her nose? Tay Conti. And almost slammed her on her head.
Yep.
So now
I hope Ember don't get injured again, bro.
Go back in the past. Let's all jump in my time machine. Let's go back in the past. Remember when I said
I remember what you said. We ain't forget. The thing is, though, we had there was a lot of promise at the time. There was a lot of promise at the time, and now we're really seeing there is some shit that stinks there.
A lot.
I told y'all they was gonna do this to her.
Yep.
Their purpose of buying WWE people is
It's
to
to get it
literally
pop. It's to
shelf
get it
them.
pop.
They
And
gave her one title match and it was
and
ass
he
water.
disappeared.
They did the same thing to Ember Moon, gave her one title match and that have you heard from her? Oh wow, I didn't see that coming.
And the crazy thing is, what's crazy to me is that even though Tony Storm is the AEW Women's Champion, interim, whatever you want to call it, the division still revolves around Britt Baker. And that's wild to me. You mean to tell me you can't keep her out of the title picture at all?
No.
Possibly the most over they have.
She is the Charlotte Flair of the AEW.
She is the Charlotte Flair of AEW. They haven't even pulled the trigger on one of her friends, Jamie Hayter, turning face on her.
And they never will. I keep telling y'all this. AEW's sole purpose is to push all of the elite, push all of their Japanese talent, push maybe a couple of ROH guys, push maybe a couple. No, they ain't gonna push no TNA guys, and bury the WWE guys that they signed.
With the exception of Moxley and Jericho.
I'm sorry. Yeah, those two.
Danielson.
Ask yourself, what happened to Miro?
That is wild. What did happen?
I want Miro back,
bro.
I want Miro back.
I'm just curious.
That's wild. Miro had probably the greatest potential. We know Malachi Black, he's not leaving. Malachi said he's going to stay with AEW. He's just going through some mental things right now, right? And his contract is actually until 2024. Like
what are they doing with Pac?
Pac is having a match with Trent Seven, I believe.
Has he defended that title since he got it?
He has, but we haven't seen it on TV.
He's done it on Revelation and Dark.
Oh.
With no storyline.
Oh.
Stop, Chase. I know we're just feeding you actual facts right now, but still, stop, man.
I'm just saying, I kind of see
Chase feels like he's a prophet right now. I mean,
correct.
Here's the thing, though. You said AEW would be dead and buried. They're not dead and buried yet.
They're still here.
I said in 2 years. In 2 years, they'll be dead and buried.
They're going to still be here in 2 years.
We've already burned a year, almost a year now.
We're at 3 years.
We're at 3 years, bro.
No. When I said it though, a year had passed when the AEW was in. I said it a year.
They're going to be here 5, 6, 7 years, man. As long they've got enough money to just stay and limp along while they learn, because that's what's going on right now. Tony.
Here's the thing, though. I said that about Tony until I realized Tony was 40 years old. You stop wanting to learn after 40. This is what I've been told. There are a lot of people who at a certain age point, you become stuck in your ways.
It's not too late for him to just, you know what I'm saying? Hey, Vince, check it out. Let me just sit at your feet for a little while. Sit at Triple H's foot for a little while. Watch how this thing done.
And here's the thing. Everyone liked AEW because WWE was in the shits. This was pre-Triple H taking over. Triple H has taken over now, and now you're looking at AEW like this
competition is
to watch.
Competition is here. It's not the new thing. It actually has to compete.
And best believe Triple H has not forgot what AEW did to NXT. So
correct.
Now he's got his hands on the main roster.
Receipts are coming.
I mean, freaking LA Knight. He's not doing his stuff for the male Maxim models anymore. He's coming back. He's left them. Yeah.
Oh, hey.
Yes, he's coming back. LA Knight, Eli Drake, whatever, you're coming back. And this is not an insult. It's just a fact of life. Yeah, he's coming back.
Is he gonna still be roided up?
You got another viable person for the mid card.
Is he going to be roided up still?
Huh?
Is he roided up still? Eli Drake is still roided up, dude. Good grief.
Still jacked. Still
okay.
Jacked.
Do you think is it time for EC3 to come back home?
I thought he just put a belt on in an indie league. They just put a belt on him.
He ain't coming back.
EC3 is not.
He should.
He's disillusioned.
Hey, now that I'm thinking about, I'm sorry. Now that I'm thinking about it though, Braun can challenge Gunther. There we go.
Huh?
Who?
Braun Strowman.
For what?
Go after the Intercontinental Championship.
Braun versus Gunther.
Yep.
After Rumble.
Ooh.
That's decent. That's decent.
Ooh.
We got no Drew, no carrying. No Drew, no carrying. Braun can fit that right there.
I like that.
Like Wardlow.
Both of them got the power bomb as a finisher.
Y'all
Like
know what I'm
Wardlow.
about to say. Y'all know what I'm about to say.
Dominate mid card like
I know I'm about to make the statement.
What?
Y'all know what that match is gonna be.
No power bomb match.
I mean, no, you know what I'm about to say.
He got power slam.
Mella, you know the words that's about to come out my mouth with this Gunther and Braun Strowman match. What Biggie like to say all the time?
Oh my God! Don't say
You
that.
know what I'm about to say.
No, don't say we like big men.
Big, meaty.
Yeah, no, I don't even like saying that.
You don't have to say it like that, man.
Man, you have to put a pause behind that, bro. That is a pausable offense.
Oh, I ain't finished it. I haven't statement yet.
That is a pausable offense,
Listen,
brother.
I am comfortable as a heterosexual male. I know what I'm talking about. If anyone takes it any other way, that's on you.
That is a pausable
That is on
offense,
you,
bro.
buddy. I am a heterosexual married man.
Under man code number 732-6, Article 4.
You can take it how you want.
That is.
But this has been. We are at 11. We are at 2 hours. Tony, if you ever come across this video, fix your women's division because you have way too much talent to be booking these women how you are. And if a lot of them weren't dissatisfied, I guarantee you, if Triple H had taken over WWE sooner, Ember Moon would still be there. Tony Storm would still be there.
Yep.
Trendy.
A lot of them would. Ruby
Damn it would
Soho.
have bought Jade Cargill by now.
True.
Jade Cargill had tried out at WWE before. You don't think they'll be interested to bring her back?
Yep.
Better keep her
I
happy.
would.
Better keep her happy because she can make some money over there in the East.
Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair have wanted a match with each other for so long.
You
That's
know
a
what?
main event.
I've never been a women's fan, like women's wrestling fan, but I would be one that day.
See, I hadn't been a women's wrestling fan until they actually started wrestling, which was on freaking T.
That's a main event of wrestling.
Hey, and let's not get started on what's happening in the women's division. I don't know if y'all peeped, but Nikki ASH done took off her mask finally. I think they're going to bring back Nikki Cross. And if they do, oh man.
Lunatic Nikki Cross?
Nikki Cross. Last woman standing match with Asuka. Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross that got choked out by Shayna Baszler and smiled. That Nikki Cross.
Please, please, please.
I think her and Dewdrop, that type of Nikki with Dewdrop would be nice.
Now we got tag team champions and we've got the mid card popping.
Shoot, we got Damage Control, Roll. Shoot, and let's not forget, Toxic Attraction will be on the main roster soon. They will.
That is crazy.
Charlotte isn't even, when Charlotte comes back, both rosters will be stacked.
Yep.
That's crazy that the WWE women's roster look way better than AEW.
Across all the brands, NXT, Raw, and SmackDown. And shoot, let's toss a couple people that may not be work, right? Xia Li, still not a safe worker. Let's toss her out. Raquel Gonzalez, stale. Let's toss her out. You still have a good roster.
Hey, watch your mouth about Raquel.
I ain't I said what I said. But
True.
you still have Shotzi. You still have Ronda. You still have
his ass.
That's cap, but I'll ignore it. You still have not Aaliyah. Aaliyah is kind of trash. You can throw her away too. You can throw her. But still, you have a women's division. And man, you can't talk trash about Mandy Rose no more. You cannot.
No.
You cannot.
Mandy is the shit.
And Toxic Attraction is legit.
True. I love what they did with Mandy. She can now bump up to the main roster and still kill it.
She could be worthy of a main title run.
Yes.
She proved that with this NXT title run.
Yes.
She shut me the hell up.
And the best way to do it, why not have her do it with Liv Morgan? Go against Liv. That'd be a nice little match.
Get body, yeah. And you get everyone. If Mandy Rose became a champion on either show on the main platform, you already got all your male audience.
Yep.
Because even though she can wrestle, she still has that diva-esque-ness about her.
Yes, Lord.
I need her old gimmick.
That sex appeal?
Yes, Lord.
Yeah.
The booty meat.
Yes, Lord.
It sells, bro. And she's got the skills to back it up.
I hear you. I know
People
we had to fight inside the brotherhood
just to see a vignette of Mandy Rose now. It's sad, but it's true.
Yeah. Now you know what I do as far as like long
and that's it's just
story booking. Who's that she was in the tag team with before she went to NXT?
Especially Gigi. Oh, yeah, that's
who was that she was in the tag team with before she went to NXT?
She was with Sonya Deville.
No.
Yes,
The other blonde haired girl, who won the 24/7 title.
Oh, Dana Brooke.
Yes, I will book them.
You can throw Dana away too.
No.
Hear me out. If I put the title on her, on
Aaron Johnson just said Nikita Lyons. Oh no.
Hell no.
And on that note, we are going to end the show, right?
I say y'all just looking at her. That man.
Bro, they literally had a spot on NXT where another woman slapped her butt. Literally.
Where? Let me look this up.
Look at you getting.
Oh my goodness!
We need to get you married, son. Jesus. Anyway,
where?
This has been another episode of the Brotherhood of Wrestling podcast. No, we will not be on next week because next week is Extreme Rules. Tune in the following week for our review of the product and whatever the hell AEW is doing because if it wasn't for MJF, I would not be interested in tuning in.
True indeed.
I love Chris Jericho.
Tony Inoki.
Yep, we love Jericho too, but we know who the face of the brand really is. If it ain't the salt of the earth,
MJF.
I don't want it.
AEW, they love Jericho.
All right, y'all.
Peace.
Joe is